Hello, and welcome to this Maverick Minute. Thanks so much for being with us today. We have a very special guest. It's my pleasure to introduce to the UNO community Miss Maeve Hemmer. And Maeve was recently elected, actually, and formally sworn in on March 31st as our student body president, and of course, as the newest University of Nebraska at Omaha student region. Maeve, thanks so much for being with us today.
I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, it's a great pleasure to introduce you to the community, and I've had the opportunity to listen to some of your introductory remarks and during the campaign as well. But maybe you could tell our audience about the things that you're focused on during your term as president of our student body and student regent.
Yeah, thank you for asking that. So I ran with Amy Lopez Hernandez as the vice president, and we have been focused on student engagement, accessibility, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. We really want to make UNO a campus where all students have the ability to exceed and excel on the campus.
Well, that's great because that's certainly an area that we've been very involved with long preceding my tenure as chancellor here. UNO has really been, as a public metropolitan university, a campus of, by, and for the community that we serve. And it's so exciting to hear your interest in furthering this mission. As you went through the campaign and you worked with your fellow students, did you learn some things that were new about UNO that you may not have known before?
Yeah, so going through the campaign and just this past year as serving as diversity, equity, and inclusion for student government, I've learned about so many amazing resources that the campus provides to students. And I think one of the things that Amy and I really want to focus on is really making those resources visible and accessible to students.
Well, that's also very exciting, and I'm sure you have some examples of some of the things that you'd like to do. So did the former student regent, Jabin, give you any advice going into this about participation with both the fellow student regents and the elected members of the Board of Regents?
Yeah, so Jabin and I actually have a pretty close friendship. He has been super helpful just at my time in UNO, and he actually invited me to meet the incoming chancellor or the priority candidate for chancellor, and has introduced me to many people around campus and some of the people from the Board of Regents. So just meeting people has been super helpful, and Jabin has really been a super big supporter of me just meeting people and building connections early on.
You know, as you probably know, one of the most important things of leadership does relate to the people that you get to meet and work with. And I think you'll find your fellow student regents, but I also am sure the elected regents and many others are just amazing human beings. They're all kind and caring, and they're all focused on one and only one thing, which is to make the University of Nebraska as good as we can possibly be. And here, of course, it's focused on how UNO can continue to grow and thrive and better serve our community. So let me ask you one other thing before we close. And is there something that you'd like our audience to know about you personally, either as an individual, as a student, or as a leader on our campus?
Yeah, so I'm huge on communication. I love to meet new people. So I want to hear from the students about what you all need. I have a very unique story, and I have a really good understanding that all students have a super unique story, and the more that we can incorporate everybody's unique story, the better we can advocate for all students to have a very successful time at UNO. So I want to hear from you.
You know, you are so right about the need for communication, to communicate in many different ways and to communicate repetitively. You know, not everybody listens and learns in the same way. We have a very diverse community that we serve. And so I look forward to working with you, to learning more about your communication style. And on behalf of all of us, Maeve, here in the leadership and in the future leadership of our campus, congratulations, and I'm sure it'll be an absolutely wonderful year.
Well, thank you. I'm excited and honored.
And thank you so much for being with us today on this Maverick Minute.